Yo, yo, yo. It's Monday, everybody. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Hey, what's good, my people? Good to see everybody back in the building. Yo, D-Rob said he snuck on in there today. D-Rob said, yo, I was just playing, y'all. I really do this. Hey, it's Monday, it's Monday, it's Monday. Woo. Yeah, man, I can't believe it's Monday already either. Just seemed like we was doing this on Friday, man. Yep. It's been a busy weekend though. It's been a bit, man. This 2024 has started out to, I can't even say it started out. I don't think my 2023 slowed down. So new year, same me. New year, same me. And it's not a bad thing. I'm not complaining at all about being the same me because I'm proud of the person that I've become. I'm proud of the journey that I had the privilege of living. There's just one thing that I've been reminded of lately. It's one thing that has really, there's one thing that I've been struggling with lately. One thing. In this personal development or personal growth journey, we're all aspiring towards something, or at least we should be. I think the challenge is that there are so many different messages out there culturally. We're supposed to do this, we're supposed to do that. This makes good sense. Don't let these people make you look stupid. Get them before they get you. And we hear so many mixed messages. Treat people the way you want to be treated. And I think it's just people on their journey and lessons that they learn, but they put it out there in a way that you feel it and you internalize it and you take it, and then you go through your own experience. You go through your own experiences, and then you say, you know what, that person was right. People are like this. You know what, that person was right. People will do this. Or that person was right, and maybe we should be doing that. And what it puts us in is a state of discontent, meaning we're getting the things that we wanted. We are achieving the goals that we're striving for, but yet somewhere deep down, we still find ourselves not super happy, not really content with our life, not really content with the choices or the decisions that we've made. Now, I know this morning I've jumped in with both feet. I've jumped in with both feet already. So let me backtrack a little bit. But your boy got some stuff on his heart. Something that's been heavy on my mind for a while now. And I know this is a safe place, so I think I want to get it off today. Yep, I know we've been talking about attachment styles. I know I said this week we were going to do some case studies, and we still will do a case study, at least one of them. Because what I found is a lot of the case studies that I want to do, YouTube going to slap your boy's hand for it. Yeah, YouTube going to slap my hand for it because it's hard to do a case study on attachment style without actually seeing and hearing the example. So unless I want to in detail describe everything or just show you, YouTube probably gonna slap my hand. So I'm gonna probably have to do something a little bit different and frame it a little different way. But that's neither here nor there. How was y'all weekend? First weekend of the year, of the new year. Did y'all get anything done? I know we already asked about New Year resolutions, new things, new focuses, intentions for this year. But I'm not sure if I asked this question, but I normally do. So I want to ask it just in case. And if I already asked y'all, let me know that I already asked it. What's one regret that you had from 2023? What's one thing that you regretted last year? Did you gain weight? Did you lose too much weight? Did you not do a thing enough? What was something that you regretted in 2023? Something. Give me something. What was something that you regretted in 2023? For me, I didn't have my balance was way off. My work, I worked a lot. Now, mind you, I was working for a reason, for a purpose. I was trying to accomplish a couple of different goals that required my undivided attention. And so I was really successful in making my career or my personal goals, turning those dreams into reality. But I was lacking on the social side. I was lacking on the family togetherness side. One of my kids said, "Man, I feel like you abandoned us, Dad." Wow, that's tough. Monique, you had a tough weekend. Monique says, "Unfortunately, I attended a beautiful 5-month-old funeral." That's tough. So much potential. So much life to live. It's gone so early. Shout out to the family. Prayers to that family for a restoration of spirit, a healing, and a joining together, bringing that family together closer. Toronto Riga says, "Not pushing myself harder than I could have." I find that in sports, I know D-Rob can relate to this. In sports, we call it taking plays off. Taking plays off. You're not going your hardest every single play. And then at the end of the game, you realize, man, I ain't even really tired. I had so much more left to give. And the one thing that I have learned, just like in sports, life is a mirror of sports in a lot of ways. In sports, if you watch major sports, you know there's a competition happening between Team A, Team B. Regardless of what the sport is, regardless of what the teams are composed of, there's a back and forth. Somebody is scoring, somebody is defending. And in every game, no matter if it's a rec league game to a professional level game, especially but on the professional level, this is more truer. There are only about 5 plays in that whole game. 5 plays in that whole game that dictate the outcome. Because most times, everything is equal. Your players against these players, there's a balance that happens. Then there's a momentum shift, or there's somebody who just makes an extraordinary play, or somebody who just checks out and don't make a play at all. Missed tackle, not following through. And then the other team goes on this run. But that run was sparked by one thing. Somebody that wasn't paying attention, somebody that didn't give their best because they took a play off. Yeah, I totally get it, Toronto. I totally get it. I've been there. I've taken plays off. Shoot, I've taken whole games off. before my life because there were some things happening around me and it wouldn't let me focus. And I know I'm not by myself. I'm not singling myself out either on that. But over the last almost 7 years now, I've had the privilege of really getting to know my mother in ways that I didn't know her previously because she was always just my mom. And we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna get back onto the attachment style. But today I wanna get something off a little bit. And I wanna ask y'all these questions as well because they go hand in hand because life, there, there are no new, there's really no new things in life. Not for real. The game don't change, just the players do. There are new generations born year after year, day after day. We're replaced every 10 years with a newer generation, with a newer a newer group of people. Our cars are replaced every year with a new version, a new model. Nothing really ever stays the same. There's always constant change and constant growth. And so those things that we didn't do last year, those things that we regretted from last year, what will we do different this year? Will we stay on the same pace or will we go further? Will we go back and try to be more intentional about getting some things done? That's really the only question that should be asked every year. What didn't I get done and do I truly want to do it? And I guess to make it simple, what do I want? What do I want? So what's got me on this mindset right now is some of you already know this, but for those of you who don't, for those of you who may be new to the channel and you may not truly understand what my motivations are or why I do some of the things that I do. It was October 20th, 2017. So it's going to be a little story time here today. October 20th, 2017. It was a Friday night. And I remember it like it was yesterday, primarily because October 20th is my mother's birthday. But life was so trying to say I'm going harder in 2024. Hey, I support that cause. I support it. And my oldest son, he was in his sophomore year, junior year. I think he was just started his junior year of high school football. And I remember being busy because my life was in transition. Me and my children's mom, we were in the full swings of a separation. And so my life had changed. I went from being an everyday dad to what I see you on the weekend, or I'll sneak a little time with you before the game, after the game, or I'm gonna come eat lunch with you, or I'm gonna come do this. But I wasn't there every day. Finances had changed. I had been laid off from a job. A lot of things were happening in my life. And so things didn't stay on my mind too long because I was always going to the next thing. And I remember leaving my son's game. I'm about to get on the highway, and then the thought hits me. Dang, dude. You ain't even talked to your mom today, bruh. Now, if you know anything about high school football, most times you're not getting out until 10-ish on a Friday night. So as I'm getting ready to get on the highway, the thought hits me. I turn back into the road and I keep straight beeline for my mom's house because I can't let her day go by without her firstborn at least saying something, acknowledging something. But as I'm driving to her house, the thought hits me. She would have called me by now with a sarcastic, "Oh, you can't call your mother? Oh, you just forget about me." I would have heard something. But she hadn't even called me. Part of me was confused or a little concerned because my mom she can carry a grudge like the best of them. However, she is very vocal about what she wants, and if she feel like you not doing something right, she gonna tell you. She not gonna hold it in. Matter of fact, she gonna tell you and the neighbor and the neighbor's neighbor. So as I get to her house, I notice the house is dark. There are no lights on, and everything is quiet. I don't hear a TV from outside. I hear nothing. So I knock on the door. I mean, I have a key, but I make it a habit not to burst into my mom's house. So I'm knocking on the door, and she said, "Hold on, I'm coming." And she comes to the door, and I can see that she's in excruciating pain. Now, she had told me a couple of days before that her back was giving her a lot of problems. She had already told me that, so I'm thinking, okay, just that she's having a really bad day. But I'm like, "Ma, you want to go to the doctor?" She was like, "No." She said, "I just took some pain meds. We'll let them kick in. If they don't, I'll give you a call back." Well, she doesn't call me back, but my sister does. My sister comes and picks my mom up maybe 3 hours later, takes her to the emergency room. Once she got to our local emergency room department and they discovered what was actually happening, they rushed her to a major hospital, Duke University Hospital. And so we're all gathering, myself, my sister, trying to decide, figure out what's actually happening. And when the doctor comes back in, he tells us that my mother's vertebrae in her spine had been deteriorated and they were starting to collapse on itself, which is why she was in such back pain. Now, my mother had been complaining about back pain for at least 2 months. My back's just been bothering me a lot lately. I'm not sure why. And she's popping Tylenol and she's popping ibuprofen. She's popping everything that she can buy over the counter. And some days it helps, but most times it was really doing nothing. But she never stopped working. She worked that morning at finding out this information. And so what had happened was that my mom was a breast cancer survivor, but the cancer had come back. And instead of coming forward into her breast, causing the lump that you would feel, it went backwards into her spine, which in effect gave her bone cancer. But it deteriorated her spine to where her spine was collapsing, and it was collapsing onto a nerve bank. And so my mother was in excruciating pain, and she had to have a emergency surgery that night to repair her spine. They put fake vertebrae in, they put a cage around it, and then their immediate concern was radiation for the cancer, but also physical therapy for my mother. Now, I just told you everything that I had going on in my life and where I was in my life. But I had never seen my mother so frail. I had never seen her so vulnerable. My mother and father had long divorced. She wasn't dating anybody. So my mother, in a sense, had nobody to be there with her. And so I took probably, this was October, so all of November, all of December, and pretty much all of January. It wasn't until February that I actually started back working. So I put my life on hold literally for 90 days to be my mom's caregiver, to make sure she got to every appointment, to make sure she had everything that she needed. But during that process, I learned a lot about my mom. Because when you're in a bad state, when you're mentally not well and physically not well, when you're physically not well, it affects your mental. And my mom began to tell me all of her regrets, all the things that she wished she could have done, and how she thought her life was over. And thankfully, I had been through my own personal development journey, so I was able to, some of the things that I even share here, actually most of the things that I share here, I share with my mom. And we sat there every day, we did affirmations, we talked about things that we were grateful for. I wrote in dry erase marker on her mirror, Bible, her favorite Bible verses and scriptures. And we literally had 90 days of we getting through this. We're gonna be better than ever. Life is gonna be amazing. You know, we went through all this time, and I got to know my mom in a different light. Now that was almost 7 years ago. My mother has been on chemo for 7 years. The cancer has spread from her breast to her spine to her brain to her liver, back down. You know, it's been a process. And for the first time since then, I'm watching my mother literally deteriorate in front of my eyes. And some days it's tougher than others, but I know why she keeps fighting. I know why she refuses to quit or refuses to give in. And there's a lot of other things that I won't share because it's partly gruesome and two is unnecessary to even talk about it. Plus, I'm not trying to put my mom's business out there too much. But I'm saying all this for a point. In life, there are very few guarantees. Very few guarantees. And when my mom, if you catch her on any given day and you say, are you proud of your children? Oh man. You'll see them peacock feathers come out. You will see the pride swell in her eyes. And she'll say, oh yes, my babies, my babies, my babies, they've done this, they've done that. They look out for me, they take care of me. They do all of these amazing things for their mother. They love their mother. She said, if I haven't done anything right in my life, that's something that I did right. And I used to feel proud when she would say that, because who doesn't want to make their parents proud? Who doesn't want people to appreciate what their contribution was in their life, you know, especially if it was a positive one. But then behind closed doors, I would hear her talk about her life really wasn't her life. The way she lived her life, she wasn't happy with. And she would talk about the bad things that happened, the unfortunate things that happened, some of the bad results of some things that happened. And she would be sad. I mean, like, legitimately sad. And I would go through whatever, because I know my sister and my brother, they do the same thing. They try to encourage her, you know, as much as possible. But after a while, when you've heard the same story over and over again, it don't really impact you as much as it did when you initially heard it. And so I try to be mindful that she's feeling her pain. And so I started asking her, I said, Mom, what did you want from life? What these things that never happened for you, what were they? And she started to name a few things, but then she stopped and she say, you know what? No, well, that did it happen, but it wasn't how I planned it, but that did happen, and well, that happened, and so the only really regret she really had was this one thing right here. And then we started to realize my mother has accomplished everything that she set out to accomplish. Now, was it all ideal? Did it all happen fairy tale fashion? No. Did she get like literally everything that she wanted? She got most of what she wanted. Now, there are a few things she never got. There are a few things that just didn't happen because there was an expectation attached to certain things that it was never fulfilled. And it started to dawn on me that not only did my mother live a life and I hate to say good enough, because she did accomplish so many things. She did things that people told her she couldn't do. She did things that she didn't think she could do. And as she's gotten older, she looks back at the fruit of her labors and she sees she has produced good fruit. But yet inside, there's still something that takes her to a place where she don't think she's lived a good life. She don't think she's had a fair shot or a fair turn at life. And so this is the reason why I'm even telling you this story today. So many of us, we live from year to year. We live from day to day trying to make it. Trying to make it. And we're so busy creating or working, I will use a better word. We're so busy working to pay this bill, to pay that bill, to put this person through this, to do that. I mean, just to keeping up with the Joneses sometimes. We're so busy living this life that most of us forget to enjoy it. I'm going to say that one more time. Most of us are so busy living life that we forget to enjoy the life that we are making. And that's where I see my mom now. And we have conversations, and I'll say, hey, Mom, you said you wanted to do this. You said you always wanted to do that. You did it. Yeah, I did. I did. Hey, Mom, you said you wanted to do this. Yeah, I did it, but I would have liked it more if it had been this way. Then why didn't you do it again? I don't know. I don't know. So when I ask you, what's one regret you had from last year? Toronto Riggins, she really hit the nail on the head. She says, I didn't go hard enough. And I would say most of us don't really go hard enough. But the follow-up question was, are you enjoying what you're creating? Because it's never going to be enough if you're not enjoying what you're creating. And if you don't know what you want, because it's easy to say, I want a Birkin bag. But is a Birkin bag with a hole in it better than a brand new Louis? If you don't know what you want, then how can you ever truly be happy with what you get? Because you didn't want it. It's just like, somebody give you a gift that you really, I don't really like those, but I didn't tell them I didn't like those. I didn't tell them what I liked. So they gave me something I didn't like, so it goes back or it gets re-gifted to somebody else. So knowing what you want is the unquestioned question of life. It's the thing that you must know in life. Because if not, you will spend your entire life thinking that life is not worth living. That's why people check out early on purpose. They self-delete because at some point they say it's not worth it anymore. Because by and large, just the natural laws of the universe, the things that we dwell on most are the things that we get. The things that we dwell on most are what we attract to ourselves. And that's what this whole personal development journey is about. Putting ourselves in the right frame of mind to attract those things that we want. So we can live a life that's worth living. So forgive me if I'm not as cheerful today, but this is probably one of the most important things I'm ever going to say. Your life is your life. Nobody's responsible for your happiness but you. Don't live a long life full of misery, full of regrets. The only thing we're promised truly is today. That's all we got is today. All we got is today. Proper English. We have only today. All we have is today. Go out to make today the best day that you can make it. And I'm not ending, not quite yet, but soon though. But this has really been on my heart because we go from year to year and we have these resolutions. We have these new expectations, these new hopes. But how can we do that when we truly don't even know what we want? When our culture says that we should want this or we should do this, and we go with it instead of saying, nah, this is what I want. This is what I desire. And there's nothing that's going to be easy. There's nothing that's going to be perfect. Are you going to have to pay a price for everything that you want? Yes. If you want to be in a relationship, guess what? You got to be broken. And I don't mean broken in a bad way. I mean, fitting with another person is not easy. So there's some molding that has to happen. And sometimes there is some breaking. My wife found me sitting under a stage. She could have left me there, but she didn't. I could have stayed there, but I didn't. Breaking, molding. Oh man, why you like her? Oh sis, he broke, girl. Why you with him? Sometimes it's breaking away from people who don't really add to your life. And it's a balancing act because sometimes they might be right. Sometimes they might be right. But guess what? It's for you to find out. If you feel strongly about something, then you have to go out and experience it and get that energy, get that trial, if you will, to see, okay, what is this really about? What's this person really about? What's this job, this career, this college course, whatever it is, what is it about? Because something is calling you to it. I'd rather have regrets and know that this isn't for me and know that this is not a good idea than to have the regret of never knowing and always wondering. Because once you know, it's no longer really a regret. It's now just experience. And I much rather take experience any day. I will never give up on love. I will never give up on life. I will never give up on new opportunities. Today might have sucked. But guess what? If I'm here to see tomorrow, I'm going to max it out. Because I know 5 minutes from now, something amazing could happen in my life. And it could change everything that I'm feeling right in this particular moment. So I'm going to always keep my eyes toward better things, better days. I'm going to always be glass half full instead of glass half empty. And have I always thought this way? No, of course not. Of course not. But life truly is for the taking. And I know I beat this horse to death. No offense to horses. I'm second guessing everything I say because YouTube is such a picky place now. I don't want Peter coming after me. But if you don't know what you want, how can you ever get it? How can you ever be content? How can you ever be happy with your life? And if you know you're taking plays off, how can you ever truly have confidence in that you are who you say you are? If you know your opponent is working every day, 12 hours a day, and you say you're working 12 hours because you're in the gym 12 hours, but really 4 of those hours, you lay back on the bench on social media, you ain't really working. So you can tell the world that I'm working hard, man, 12 hours a day. And your opponent, but he really doing or she really doing them 12 hours. Are you going to be as confident? Probably not. And you can't just fake everything till you make it. You got to become it. And that's the hardest thing in life. Becoming. Because it requires us to be uncomfortable. It requires us to be accountable. And accountability is a word that a lot of people just don't care much for. So anywho, all that to say this. My mom has lived a really good life. And there's people who look at her in awe sometimes because of the things that she's done, the challenge that she's overcome, the examples that she set. Is she imperfect? Yes. Is she human? Yes. Has she made mistakes? Yes. But every month, my mom has friends, ever since she had to be medically retired, that send her money just because they love her and they want to show their appreciation for her. She has children who does everything for her. She still has an ex that runs up on her every time he sees her and wants to hug and kiss her. My mom has lived an extraordinary life. And as sad as I could be, I refuse to be sad because she's gotten more out of her time on this planet than some people ever get. And they live much longer. And so my mom she's my biggest inspiration in most things because I come from her. That's my DNA pool. And if she can do it, God knows I can do it. And so when times get hard, man, I sit back and I look at my life, and when I used to let it get me down, I would find myself in this spiral talking about, man, if I was better, I could have done this, or if these people were on my side, more than on their other side, then I could have got more done. Don't really matter what they do. It don't matter what they think. It matters what you do, and it matters what you think. And the more authentic you are to yourself, the more authentic you are with what you do and who you are, you'll attract everything that you need when you least expect it. When you least expect it. But that's it, though. All right. I'm off that. I just need to get that off because I know so many of us, we walking through every day like drones, and we're just doing the same old routine, doing the same old thing. And honestly, we're getting the same results. And at some point, it becomes normal. We say nobody gets it all. And that's true. There's no perfection in life. Nobody gets it all. But I want me as much as I can get. If it's 80, 90, 99.9, I want it all. And the only person that can stop me truly is me. Because I determine how much energy I put in. I determine how much work I give. I determine the influences that I let influence me. So, we've been talking about attachment styles, and we've been talking about communication. And I mean, for the last month, we've talked about relationships, communication, ego, attachment styles. And before that, it was goal setting and affirmations and gratitudes. And we've covered a lot of things since September 11th, I believe, was the first show. September 11th. And we've covered a lot since then. And the show will be taking some changes, some detours. It's gonna look different. It's gonna feel different. We're moving this week. So this will be the last last couple times y'all see this particular set. I'm excited about it because I'm kind of tired of it. I want to do some different things. But also the content is going to change just a little bit as well. The show is going to change a little bit. The timings of the show is going to change a little bit. And I'm still working with my team, my production crew, and we're putting together some stuff. And I would like you guys to be a part of that as well. So sometime here real soon, I'm going to be in the Facebook group. We're going to be asking you guys to give me some information so I can know how best to structure this show to go forward. Because somebody pulled my coattail one day and said, "Hey man, you got something good going on there. I want to see it grow. More people need to hear it." And I know he said, "I know you're not about the clicks and the views, but you should be, because what you have to say is way more impactful than what most people are saying." And I didn't know if I believed it much at first, but I think about how my life has changed just implementing these things. How my mom's life changed. My mom went from, man, I ain't gonna talk about my mom like that, but she went from a not happy person to a very pleasant person to be around just because she changed some things. Just because she started seeing how she saw herself, because she started speaking differently, because she got around other people who thought more positive. So yes, it all matters. It all matters. And so I want to grow this particular show. So it's going to look a little different. I know some things I got to tighten up, some things I got to make more palatable for the masses, but I'm not going Hollywood. I'm still going to be me. Still going to be, story time extraordinaire, still going to be a thing. But some things do have to change, and that's life. We do things, we try, we see how it works, we make adjustments, and we keep it going. So thank you all for being here and for supporting and giving me your feedback. And yes, boo, you are the team. We're not the only member of the team. There are some more people. They just, they just kind of behind the scenes, and they check things out. And they kind of give me critiques. They let me know when I probably should be quiet on certain topics, and they let me know when I should speak up on certain topics. And I know personal development it's complicated because people want to be entertained. They don't want to be told that they need to change something, even though they're miserable with their life. Because guess what? It's their life. It's their life. They can be as miserable as they choose to be. But for the people who want to grow, for the people who want to see something new happen, they want different results, those are the people that I should be shooting for. And then stay around long enough for the people that are tired of the same old results. When they get tired of being sick and tired, I should be around long enough for them to find me as well. For them to be a part of this community, be a part of this group. Because I keep saying I am not a licensed therapist. I am not a psychologist. I'm not even a counselor. I'm just a person who's been through a lot of life and has made some decisions to be better, made some decisions to grow, made some decisions to get help from other people who could see me and tell me, "Hey man, I noticed you got this little habit right here. It's probably not productive. Hey man, I know you probably don't want to hear this, but that thing you said the other day to your lady, you probably shouldn't have said that. Hey man, when last time you hugged your kid? When was the last time you talked to your friends?" You see, having people in your corner hold you accountable, it's a beautiful thing. And I'm just grateful that I was open enough to receive it. Because sometimes you don't know what you don't know. And that don't know, sometimes you don't know you messing up. You don't know that this 15th cookie that you ate today, it's probably gonna sit on your hip for the next 6 years. You don't know. You just think you just eating your feelings. I'm an emotional eater. And so, hey man, it's 15 cookies today. Put them cookies down. Yeah. So, all right. So going forward this week, what is actually going to happen this week? Because this week is a move week, but it's also a very busy work week. So for the next 2 weeks, I'm probably only going to be able to do maybe 2 shows per week, maybe 3, just depending on the day I break down this particular set and the day that it gets set up at the other house and in between the work stuff, because there's a lot happening. Monique says, we need more positive and honest conversations. This type of platform is amazing and healthy. Your experience and journey has been helpful, especially when you look like me. Yeah, Monique. Yeah, yeah. It does make a difference, and I think part of the challenge that most people have is we're in such a clout chasing culture. Everybody's just trying to be on. Everybody's out here faking it until they make it and never realizing why they not making it. It's because you can't, if you pretending to be something, you're going to attract that, whether you are that or not most times. And what I mean, when people say, when you're doing affirmations, you never say the negative of what you don't want. You never say that. Instead of saying, I'm not gonna be in debt no more. No more debt for me. But all you saying is debt, 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 debt. You're attracting it. More debt. Hey, here's an opportunity. Hey, you put this balance, transfer this balance to this card. It'll clear that debt, but you just put all the debt over there. And if the habits didn't change that created the debt, guess what you're gonna do? You're gonna pay that off, but then you're gonna run them back up and then you default on that one. Then you're in a deeper hole. Man, those affirmations don't work. All you said was debt, brother, and you got more of it. Some people, they want a relationship so bad, but they can't stand women or they can't stand men, but they want a relationship with one. Everybody isn't coming to hurt you. But will everybody hurt you? Probably, because we're imperfect. Nobody's going to ever get it right. Somebody's going to say the wrong thing at some point in time. That's why we talk about attachment styles. So we can recognize, okay, I might be a little too clingy because I couldn't depend on people when I was younger. Or I might be avoidant and dismissive because I was hurt. I have trust issues. I may be fearful of relationships with this because I've been through so much trauma. My love languages are this. My love language is that. This is what I respond to. This is what I don't respond to. And the more you know about you, the better you can choose. Because quite honestly, we just choose wrong. Or we choose we choose the wrong people at the right time, or the right people at the wrong time. And every now and then we find the right person at the right time. When the stars align, as they say. But thank you, Monique. I appreciate that. They work when you use the right words and surround yourself with the right people. Yeah. Yeah. It's really you building a community and you're creating a culture. And that's really all ever my overall channel, Jamon Glover Speaks, is about. It's about creating a culture that is beneficial. And so with a show like a morning motivation, or even I'm thinking about maybe some evening show, it's about creating a culture. I never want to be the guy who's out here just doing reaction videos. Or I never want to be the guy who's out here slandering men or slandering women. None of us are perfect. None of us are perfect. And the longer we fighting against each other, especially people that look like us, we're always going to stay divided. And that serves everybody but us. When we support every other community, when we support every other network and show and restaurant other than our own, then we never get any better. If we don't go through the growing pains of learning how to build a successful company, and we continue to just bootleg stuff, then that's all we're ever going to put out is bootleg stuff. If we never go through the process of supporting one another and thinking that oh man, they ain't talking about that, man. Can't do business with them folk, man. Can't do business. And if we can't do business with ourselves, why would anybody else want to? And so they'll come in like they always do. They'll take our ideas, our thoughts, our hard work, and they'll make it work for themselves. But that doesn't do much for our community. But anyway, I said a lot right there. I said a lot. And the thing is, we all know it. We all know what is said about us. We all know what we say about each other. But yet, there's still not a lot of movement there because we don't have a solid community that's built on trust and respect. I don't know why that is completely, but I have my thoughts. I have my ideas. But this ain't the platform for it. Not today. Overall, my goal is to build community. And it's going to happen in a couple of different ways. And I'm looking for people that I can let my hair down around and be myself. And they understand that it don't happen often, but you know what I'm saying? I have gas every now and then. I know. My wife, she's never had gas. So, I'm not perfect like her, but I have it every now and then. I'm human still. I'm going to get it wrong sometimes. But we're so quick in this culture to vilify people. And so you never really get a chance to see who people really are because they out there trying to be faking because they want the clout, because they want the attention, they want the exposure. And then they get it and they can't sustain it because they were not really what they said they were. So, but anyway, next show, more than likely will be tomorrow. We're going to get back into the attachment styles. And we're going to really talk about, we're going to dig into more of the those core wounds, those things that give us those styles this week for the anxious, the preoccupied, the dismissive avoidant, and also the fearful avoidant. That's probably what we want to do this week because I'm pretty sure we're only going to do Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday this week. Thursday and Friday, we're going to be in full swing mode. And then we're probably going to be burnt out and tired by Monday. So definitely. So Tuesday, Wednesday this week. And next week, maybe Tuesday. Or maybe next week might just be Wednesday, Thursday, Friday next week. I'm not sure. Just depends on how fast we get everything done. So, but thank you guys for your support. Thank you for continuing to rock with your boy, rock with y'all home girl over there, the Miss I've never had gas a day in my life. And so today is a little earlier than normal. On purpose. This whole day was on purpose. I just wanted to take a break to really refocus and recenter because we spend so much time trying to make it that we don't completely, truly live. We're not super intentional and we're taking too many plays off. My bad, babe. That wasn't a shot at you, boo. I'm sorry. Oh, facts though, right? Facts. No, you haven't. I'm just saying. You're perfection, girl. I still don't know how I got so blessed, how I got so fortunate to come across your path, and that you would take pity on a poor soul like me to make my life better. Girl, I tell you. But anyway, y'all, I appreciate all of y'all for being on this journey with me, for the encouragement, for the support. Appreciate your health talk, bro. Happy New Year, my guy, man. Yeah, man. Life is interesting. Well, you do get a say. You do get a say. So we're going to create some amazing content. We're going to create some amazing community and a culture that's infectious. And it's going to inspire people to not just aspire, but to become. So you guys be blessed. You'll have a great day. As Health Talk says, no matter what. And those of you who know that word of prayer, send something my way from my mom. You call her Miss Pearl. Say her name. Put her name in the ether. Because she's fighting, y'all. Some days she's tired. But then the moment she gets a little moment of clarity, she's back at the fight again. So I'm encouraged by her. She's my inspiration for a lot of things that I do. So we all have that. And we all have our time to fight. We have our time to win, to be successful, to have some failure. It's all part of the journey. It's part of being human. And I'm grateful for you guys sacrificing your time, because this every morning, 7 a.m., I know it's tough, but I appreciate it. So, all right, man. You guys have an amazing day. Live life to the fullest. Take no prisoners, but be kind. All right, guys. Happy Monday. Make it the best day possible, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. Peace out.